Community Radio
programming of
on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest Ace dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
8:07 on the nose.
On the nose. I want you to know that last week, when you were gone,
Talk into the mic.
Peter made sure that we upheld your tradition and only did things on the 2nd. He made me.
No, I watched. You tried your best to do it.
I called it.
He was the one. He was the one that made me do it. I would not have thought of that, but Peter was right on. So I do what I'm told. Well, most of the time.
You know what happened when you
What happened?
walked into the Tech Academy this morning?
What happened?
Usually, once I'm away for a while and I come back,
Yeah.
I get a comment out of your mouth.
You look tan.
Oh.
You didn't even notice the color.
Oh, well, you know what? People are getting tanner now, so maybe you're not going to stick out as much. But yes, I do see it now that you mention it. But I was caught up in Peter's story, which was really funny. I'm sorry. It was hilarious. It
Yeah,
is
well,
hilarious.
you know what?
What?
If Bob doesn't want to show up.
Oh, Bob did
We
show
don't
up.
need him.
Well, he did
Well,
show up,
Bob
but he
showed
decided
up.
not to. Whatever. You know what, Pete? Why don't you go over that for people who may have tuned in?
So
It's hilarious.
The last
I
2
woke
hours.
up. I woke up at my normal time. I checked my email and I saw no
wait.
rundown.
What's your normal time?
Well, 4:30 for the first alarm.
You want
Checked my email on my phone and no rundown from Bob. So I figured he didn't get my email saying the launch had been delayed and we were going to be here this week. All right, so I went back to bed. 10 minutes to 6, I get up, program the show,
Yep.
and get ready to go back to sleep for an hour because I don't have to be here till 8 now.
Yep.
At 5 after 6, I got a call from Bob saying, "Hey, we're both here. Where are you?"
Oopsie.
And I said, "You didn't send me a rundown," so I went back to bed. I did. I sent you one last night. I said, "No,
That
you didn't.
wasn't me.
No, you didn't. That's you."
I'm not touching this.
Well, something's going on because it wasn't me.
I didn't do it. Is there a cow in the hallway?
His computer's going weird.
It's got a mind of its own.
I'll pot you down. Let me know when it's fixed.
Okay.
Now I hear him. So anyway,
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm getting dressed. Now I'm like, all right, well, I got to go in without a shower. So
This is
now I'm getting
horrible.
dressed. Reboot. So now I'm getting dressed, and I get another call from this time from Rick saying, well, we decided that we're going to go back to bed too, so you're all set.
And that was the beginning of your day.
That was the beginning of my day.
And
then
now
I
we
went
have
back to bed.
Ken and his meow that we can't seem to locate. Who knows what's going on here, folks? I have no idea the way this morning is going. Maybe we should have all gone back to bed, Peter. Yeah, and you know what?
Remember not to feed them after midnight, Ken.
Good one. I forgot.
Are you good?
Well, he's still looking.
No, it's still
done?
doing whatever it wants to do.
All right, so I'll keep you potted
Oh,
down.
God. I
So,
know.
I'm actually unplugged, so you can leave it as it is.
I went to sign on to a Zoom meeting last night, and I totally forgot that I was on my new tablet, and I didn't have Zoom loaded. I had to stop. I had to reload the Zoom.
Well, yeah, 2 weeks ago, you would have had to reload Zoom anyway because they had an update.
Oh, they
I do the
updated?
updates automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine probably up.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. We had to do a Zoom meeting in Southwick a few weeks ago, and myself and one of the select board members who's really into computers, we're sitting down and we were like, okay, all right, we're going to have to mandate that you automatically do updates because I was updating my laptop, he was updating his.
I did that over a year and a half ago, saying that if you wanted to log into the Zoom meeting, you had to run the update because there's so many security holes
Yeah.
that they constantly
Yeah,
are
it
fixing.
would not pass you onto the meeting until you did the update.
Right.
And the update install on my laptop down there failed 3 times before it took.
Ooh. Oh,
Well,
my.
so that's why I mandated that. I'm like, that gives everybody a chance to keep their updated. And
Peter, how does that, with all of the securities we've got on our city email, how does that affect the Zoom?
what do you mean?
Well, we have all these security emails, with our city email that we have, our city address.
Multi-factor authentication. That's pretty much standard for the industry right now.
Yes, and I took my test again. How many times do we have to do that?
I intended to do that down in Florida, and I just ran out of time.
Oh
Every
yeah,
time
I got to do
around.
my security assignment too.
Every
Maybe
time
I'll do
I
that
turn on,
today.
they want
When's the
to-
deadline for that? I'd like to do that on the train.
I think you got time.
Okay.
I'm gonna get mine out of the way.
And you don't have to do it. They prefer you do it. I think it's.
Well, I don't know.
I
We
think
work in the
it's-
mayor's office. We need to set the example.
It's tied. Well, I do it too. I do it too, and they want us all to do it. But a couple of the people on the commission, last I checked, weren't able to get on, and they talked to the tech, and they couldn't get them on either for some very bizarre reason.
Yeah,
I
don't
had
know.
trouble getting on, and I called, and I don't remember who it was, but they were really, really good about it. They walked me through it, Peter. They got me on with no issues.
Sure.
I don't know what the problem was. I was on, and then I got kicked off. And then I had to re-sign in again, and I had to do that double identification.
Well, it'll time you out after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, so I make sure I keep going on now because I don't want to go through that again. It's just a pain in the neck.
So, as I was going to say before this computer went all
Meow.
donkey on me.
Peter, let's make random noises, and he won't know which it is. Oh, God help us. What now, Ken? What? The more you know.
It's
So,
funny how
because
that riff
Bob
is-
is not here,
Yes.
and,
Yes.
you know,
Bob, we miss you. Wait, I have to thank Bob for hanging in for 4 hours last week. 4 hours. And he did a great job because when 1776 people came in, starting April 14th, shameless plug, at Westfield Theater Group.
was he able to recall things?
Well, yes, but he was actually, he was in 1776.
Well, that's what I'm
so
talking about.
He had better questions perhaps than I did. So it was really helpful. I appreciated it. If you're listening, Bob, thank you very much. Love you. Miss you.
When your computer starts up and it goes, let's take a few minutes to finish setting up your device.
You did updates. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's always when you need it. It was like when I was in school. I guarantee the time that I needed to run off a test and I had 5 minutes to do it, that's when the machine was going to
If I had not gone down to Florida last week, this never would have happened.
So it's all your fault then.
It's all my fault. Yeah.
I get it. I'm happy blaming
So
you.
as I was
I have
saying,
no problem blaming you.
because Bob is not here,
Okay.
and you know, I like to have somebody on during the first hour and the second hour.
Yes,
Well,
you do.
hopefully, Chef John will remember to show up today.
Oh, dear.
He's
Oh,
the
dear.
second hour guest.
Oh, dear.
But this is how good I am because I thought Bob
How
wasn't
lucky
here.
you are.
Go ahead and throw me under the damn bus, Pete. Go ahead, keep doing it.
Ouch.
Old-
Ouch.
Old,
All right, boys.
Old
All
buddy,
right,
old
boys.
pal of mine.
All right, boys. This is the teacher speaking.
One of these days.
Behave yourselves.
Pow! Right in the kisser.
You're going to be in the car together
So
for a long
he
time.
caught onto that old buddy, old pal of mine thing there.
Of course I did.
Yeah. I wonder how many of our viewers actually get that reference.
You know what? I don't get that. I know I should.
Norton, pal, come on down here.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Oh,
okay.
buddy, old pal of
All
mine.
right.
Actually, that was Norton who said
All
that.
right.
Hey, Ralphie boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was a
pal
good
of
one.
mine.
That was a good one.
The views expressed by the host during his monologue are those solely of his own, not those of Westfield State University, the radio club, our underwriters, or somebody who is a mystery guest of today might think about.
Can you give me some pot?
What?
I need pot.
For what? Oh, for your thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for
Minding my potentiometers?
yeah, so pot was short for potentiometer. Shame on you for any of you thinking otherwise.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, I thought we were cooking.
Yeah, so after the monologue, I have somebody
A surprise.
better than Bob to replace Bob with.
There's no one better than Bob.
Oh, wait until you see
Yes,
who I
sir.
have.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today is the 4th day of April in the year 2023. This is Den Ken's Den. Pete already did the disclaimer.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Did.
Yeah, you did. So you know what, Pete?
What's going on,
Yeah,
Ken?
usually I pick on places I stay at once I get back.
And this is a 2-timer.
3-timer, actually.
You have to tell me this place. Maybe I'll go.
Yeah. I call out things, even though I stay at discount places, as if I would be staying at the Mandarin Oriental, but only paying $65 a night. This time out, wow. All right. I was treated like royalty. I posted what my initial treatment was whilst arriving early was like on my Facebook feed, but I'll go over it again.
Whilst.
I arrived early, but they recognized me. They gave me breakfast coupons, which are not part of my deal, and some extra drinky coupons. They're the slushy drinks they give away. Mind you, they didn't have to do this. I arrived early, all right? It was my fault. It was the only one-way down, or nonstop down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they also put a rush on getting my room ready, and they called me when it was ready.
That's really nice of
Yeah.
them.
Whilst I was waiting, they gave me a key, so if I wanted to go out and wait at the pool area, I could.
Even better.
Yeah. So I got back to my room, and this is what I got, all right? And, you know, I spent an extra $10 for the upgrade, which I usually don't do. So this is what I got. An outside door going right out to the pool area.
Nice.
So less than a minute to get to the pool. Ice maker 30 seconds away.
Nice. Now I'm lost.
So then, well, you know what? My printer this time around printed double-sided.
Ah.
And I'm not used to that. So, what pissed me off the first night, right? The soda machine in my building was out of service. However, both ice machines were working, which is okay, since the 2 liters I got delivered from Publix were $1.20 each, and the bottles of soda in the machine would have been $3 or $4.
Okay.
I just wanted something cold and wet right on the spot.
Win.
Yeah. The pool bartender recognized me. Came out to give me a hug and called me Kevin.
Win.
Yeah. Wasn't there just a television show called Kevin Can F Himself?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was, actually. What's her name from Schitt's Creek? The daughter played in it.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of her name right now.
I
Great
don't watch
actress.
it very often.
All right. The toilet runs. Well, it used to run, then I caught it. That's it. That's all that pissed me off the first day there.
What a miserable day.
Yeah.
Only 2 or 3 things.
Yeah. I celebrated by going across the street and getting a real New York City pie in Orlando.
Okay. Sounds good.
Speaking of pies, Chris and Lisa, the pizza fanatics, will be coming in Ken's Den May 2nd.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, see what I did there?
Shameless cross promotion.
There we go.
They're going to be fun.
Shameless.
They're going to be fun to have on here. So even though it was only about 92 degrees, the UV index was really high. And I'm normally careful and use sunscreen as if my life depended on it. Well, I guess
Well, it
technically that's correct. Mm-hmm. I missed 3 areas.
Oh, no.
So I have 3 round blotches on my body that are lobster red after only the first day.
It's funny. It's funny.
What a difference between February and March down there. I got as much color in one day as I did in 3 the last time I was in Florida.
People that I know say it's been god-awful hot for March.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I can, you know what? And I wrote this at the time.
Yeah.
I could feel the heat gassing from my skin. Thankfully, I brought my green jelly aloe gel with me. And I keep it in the fridge so it feels good when you apply it. Yeah. There you go. Kenny's travel tip. Keep your after sun stuff in the fridge.
Okay.
And at that point, I think I started having enough sun. Started to get dizzy.
From the sun.
My stomach was in knots.
Drinking.
And I could no longer walk outside if the sun was out because it was hurting.
Drinking.
The sheets on my bed hurt.
Sunburn.
This never happens in Vegas. Of course, the UV index in Florida is usually more intense due to its relationship to the equator. I should have heeded the warnings on the morning news. 15 minutes to burn if your skin is untreated. I averaged 4 hours, but was treated.
Oh, jeez.
I did not wash anything off. Does it just stop working?
Yes.
I put more on when I
Yes,
got
it
out of the
does.
pool. I took precautions. And then at that point, I'm trying to figure out how I was going to be able to fly back without clothing on.
Probably not.
And to think about this right now, I get to do it all again in a little over a week.
Brother.
Let's
I
listen to
cannot
the elephant
do it.
and pear bills. We'll be back right after this.
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Hey, Brian, can I have some wheat thins?
What?
Can I have some wheat thins?
They're wheat thins.
That's what I said, wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
What are you talking about? I'm just saying wheat thins.
Say wheat.
Wheat.
Now say wheat thins.
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 No, you can't have any.
Have any what? Have any wheat thins?
It's wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
be in your commercial?
No, it's our thing. We're doing it. You know, I think you should all be nicer to Will Wheaton.
The way I treat my
You're
colleagues.
doing both of them?
What?
I said
Only
you ought to
2
be
out of
nicer
the
to
5.
Will Wheaton.
You mean Will Wheaton?
Yes, Will Wheaton.
Why are you saying it like that?
What? I'm just saying you should be nicer to Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton seems like a nice guy.
Say wheat.
Wheat.
Now, say Will Wheaton.
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 Hey, did you hook up with Whoopi Goldberg on the show?
All the time.
And that, my friends, is a scary thought.
Every time I see Will Wheaton, that's what I say. Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton?
Wheaton.
Will Wheaton?
And Whoopi and what?
Did I see him in Picard?
He's been doing a
Yes.
great job on the Ready Room.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
the,
yeah.
The after
Yes, he
show.
Uh-huh.
He hasn't been on Picard yet.
He
has
has
the
too.
Ready
He was at
Room.
the
Oh.
beginning. No, that's not true. He was at the end of season 2
There's a voice.
Oh, you're right.
as
You're
the
right.
traveler. He
Yes.
was. He came in back as the traveler.
I feel so out of balance right now.
I know. There's a voice on my right,
Who is that?
and it's not the same voice.
And it's not an equal space from the right compared to the left either.
oh, for Christ's sakes!
Oh,
I'll
here we
fix
go.
it.
Here we go. You know that's going to happen.
You know my
here.
OCD and ADHD.
I didn't realize you were such about symmetry. I didn't
Oh, are
realize
you
that.
kidding? I have to keep shuffling my chair back
Boom.
and forth so that we're all
Perfect.
exactly centered.
Oh, I need to have.
I don't even need a camera operator. I just do it electronically.
You're the man. Good.
No, I need to have all my ducks in a row, and yeah,
I don't
I'm
even
that
know where
way.
my ducks are. They've
Mine are in
flown
my
off.
pond, which is now finally thawed.
And we'll be talking about Stefan Czaporowski's pond.
Yes.
So no more snow up where you are.
I still have snow on the grass. Yeah,
Oh,
but
oh.
the pond is thawed. I got 2 feet.
Hey, how good is your internet out there?
I have Comcast, so that was my only option, or I could have DSL. When I first moved to Montgomery, all I had was DSL. Do you know how slow that is?
I'm just saying, maybe we could put a weather camera out
Yeah.
there for you.
Well,
it's not that great. I mean, if you go away from the house, it's not great.
You could also
No,
get
no,
a
we can-
Starlink.
we'll wire
you could
it.
get what's that other star band that I used to install? I used to
Vialink?
sell satellite
Viasat.
internet.
Really, does satellite internet work well?
Starlink does.
Starlink is fast. The other one with the VSAT,
Viasat.
it's
It's okay.
it's your last option if you don't have anything else.
Really?
Just go with whatever he said.
Yeah, I would.
So-
I trust him.
I wasn't talking about the
If it
company.
ever comes up
VSAT.
at a party, you can say Starlink works really well.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I wasn't talking about Viasat, the company. I was talking about VSAT, VSAT, which is a technology used with, I think it was Starband was one of them. And of course, VSAT.
Yeah, that was all Hughes.
And of course, VSAT stands for Very Small Aperture Transmitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have more acronyms than we do in education, I think.
I know. Isn't it? We do have a lot, don't we?
We
They
do.
took the CAT SAP test. And
And the problem, the thing is with educators, they know exactly what you're talking about, too.
Sometimes I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Well, you pretend to.
I pretend
Yeah, of
to.
course. You're like,
I
oh,
went,
I know
"Yes,
what that
I
is.
You better get the ABC and that DEF PDFQ.
It always got to me though when the tester would do that with parents, and you could see the parents get that foggy look in their eyes, like.
Look at,
what?
I had to
What are we talking
Pete helped
about?
train me to define every acronym. On
All
my
dogs
show.
are trainable?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, well, it had to because it would go over people's heads like in
It
the matter
does.
of minutes.
I'm not
It
trainable.
does. It does. You're not trainable?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, you are.
All right, Ken, I'm trying to get banana Twinkies for Thursday.
Okay, yeah, so, by the way, isn't this just
Are they
as
going to
good
make
as-
them from scratch?
No, I had to buy them, but they're still going to fry them.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't this
And
ju-
Eric's going to, well, actually, we have a student. I met with a student this morning who's going to prepare them, and they're going to look very nice. So they're going to dress them up and make them delicious. But banana was the original flavor.
Exactly, yeah.
Of
And then
what? What are we
of a Twinkie. And then there was a
And they
banana.
were bigger back then,
They
too.
were. And then there was a bananas were rationed during World War II, so they switched to vanilla cream, and people liked the vanilla cream better, so they kept with the vanilla.
Every now and then they still have the banana out.
I'm hoping,
look
and
for
so
it.
I have someone on the lookout for me. I have the strawberry ones and the regular ones for Thursday, because it's going to be National Twinkie Day, and we like to involve culinary when we can. Last week we had turkey soup. It was delicious.
It was delicious. That got me through lunch.
It did. We're eating pretty well on my show, huh, Pete? We're doing
Yes,
pretty
we
good.
are.
I wasn't able to make it in last
The
week.
students are
You were
getting
in
a little.
Florida, I know.
The students are getting a little envious.
What do you? Because they don't get to. Well, maybe we'll make some extras this time, and feed them a little bit. But I don't know. I would just do that to try to bring something different to the show.
Yeah. So isn't this just as good, if not better, than having Bob in here?
I refuse to answer that question.
Okay, on the grounds that it might.
I don't know if the word is
Well,
incriminate.
we can't do therapy.
What's the word?
Oh no, we can still do therapy.
Oh, dear Lord in heaven.
Yeah, might not do it, but we could.
What's
So you
this?
said you had 2 feet of snow up in Montgomery?
Yeah, that last storm.
Holy smoke.
When the plow went by, if you drive by on Main Road, because I'm up about 1,000 feet, if you drive by and you look on the sides of the roads,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of
Yeah.
snow there.
Yeah.
Why would you want to live there?
I bought the house in the summer, so I didn't know that was the case.
It's also very peaceful, probably, right?
And then there's that. I mean,
It's
again,
quiet.
It's like me living off
peaceful.
this 200 feet off the street on Eggleston. Nobody really
Yeah.
bothers me.
no, I'm brushing my teeth this morning, looking out the bathroom window, and there are 2 ducks swimming in my pond.
Mm-hmm.
Did
I
you have
a
that
lot-
this morning?
I have a lot of ducks. Yes.
great.
I have a
I do
bear.
have it every morning. I have the water right in the yard, and sometimes it's in the house. One never knows when Moose Meadow Brook flows, guys. It
Flows well.
flows. But I rest my self on the idea that they said during the flood of '55 it wasn't touched, which is interesting. When they were taking the dam out on Toccoa, they kept saying that it was a low impact dam. So you know what that meant? That meant I was the only house that was going to be drowned out.
yeah.
There's nobody else on the brook.
Right.
I'm the only one. And I sent a letter to Brian Sullivan at the time. I said, Brian, please remember I'm down here.
Yeah. Don't forget me.
Oh, and they took the dam out? I mean, they drained the pond? Did it get bad?
Yeah, well, they took Toccoa Dam out, Peter.
I know, I saw the time
Yeah,
lapse of
about a
that.
year and a half ago. And what they didn't
Yeah.
do is they didn't dredge it out behind the dam. So all of that, decades
Sludge.
and decades of sludge, when they washed it out, washed down. And they said that they thought, the engineer said that they thought it was going to raise the level of the brook, which is troubling because it does come up. But it would need to come up
I'm that old.
probably another 6 feet before it actually got into my yard. But in any event, what it did is the sludge washed down. It moves too quickly by my house because it hits a wall and then it turns. But it did raise it a little bit in the farmyard. So we're okay. We're okay, but I do know what you mean about you look out your window. Every day I look out and there's the turkeys. Do you have turkeys?
Are they come through? Yeah.
Yeah, we get the turkeys.
I'm looking for the otters.
I was
but
going to say, are the
We
otters
had
back?
otters.
No, you ate them or something. Didn't you make otter burgers?
Otter
at
burgers.
Christmas? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember that. You heard about that, huh?
I've had otters. I've had mink. Have you had mink?
No, what is that?
Mink. Actually, mink. You know the mink coats?
Oh, yeah?
Mink.
Really?
Yeah. There used to be a mink farm on the corner of down around West Road and Montgomery, I think it is. There was a mink farm somewhere around there. So we do have mink. I've seen them in the brook.
Anything with legs and a head you can eat,
Yeah, I know.
God. Here.
But the otters are too cute. I hope they come back.
Did they ever make their way into your pool?
No, they just in the pond, and I told you I think there's a mom and a dad,
Yeah.
or 2 bigger ones, and then a baby one last year.
We had beaver one year, and that was not good.
No, I don't want that.
They
not
made a
good.
dam. They
Right.
made a dam further down on the road, and they were backing up the water. We actually had a pond in the yard. It was nice, but the railroad took it out because it was starting to wash out the side of the
side of the
railroad
railroad
tracks. So they had to take it out. Yeah. We had a bobcat last week.
So is it a fox that screams like a banshee?
Yes.
When they're
Yes.
Oh my God. Have you
Yes.
heard that scream?
Yes, I have. I was outside with the dog one night, and there's this screeching.
I thought
and
someone was getting murdered
Yeah,
in
it's
my
coming
woods
from the-
somewhere.
I thought it was
Yeah.
a cat getting it on.
Yes, it's a
heard
horrible
that too.
noise, Peter.
I've heard that too.
I'm
I've
like,
heard
what the
cats
hell
getting
is
it on.
that? Oh
I
my
know.
God.
And I am not one of those people who goes to look.
No, I'm like,
Back in the
huh?
house. Yep.
There's a video going on around social media now. It's a ring video footage out the front door, and then there's a slow-poking cat hanging out outside, and then you see the cat walk out of frame, and then you see a fox slowly come up onto it, and then you hear a scuffle, and then boom, you see the fox running the other way. So the cat beat the hell out of the
Well,
fox.
I wouldn't count on it, but maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe on occasion.
We have a lot of fox. I haven't heard a lot of coyotes, but they're out there.
Mm-hmm.
It was their breeding season, I guess. April.
I had a bear wander through once, and I caught it on my cameras, but it
Did
was
you?
nothing interesting, so it hasn't come back.
Yeah, I had a bear off a meadow.
I'll bet you have. They
yeah.
follow the river, I'm sure. And you probably sporadically get deer and coyote down there.
I had a moose once.
Yep, we had the moose downtown.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that. We had a moose in our yard. Do you see moose?
I haven't
They're
seen
up
that's,
there.
I've seen lots of deer,
Yep.
but no moose.
Are you 200 yards away from any other dwelling?
Across the street, I guess, but not really that close. And no one's next to me either way.
Well,
for a bit. I mean,
yeah.
I've never lived with any neighbors.
I'm not talking. I'm not trying to figure out how neighborly he is. I'm talking about
neighborly.
How
I'm
much
not neighborly.
Yeah. So, you could take a walk out back with a crossbow and you never have to worry about going to the supermarket.
There you go.
Well,
I don't think he's got time for that.
No, but if I did, I actually know how to cut it up.
That's true. You're a butcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It's my first job.
Yeah, I did know that.
I did not know that. That's very interesting.
When I first started, it was a Falls Provision in Chicopee, if you remember that place. It was up on East Street, which
Vaguely.
it is now Kalo and Beanick.
Okay.
And who was our architects? See, isn't it life comes full circle? Who are our architects for the new elementary school? And
did you show them around their office?
No. When I found out where they were, I'm like, hey, I used to work there. And I guess they still have offices.
Chop up tails and ears and.
Well, when I was at Falls, we made
yeah.
our own kielbasa. We made our own hot dogs, our own bologna, our
Known
own
for
veal
it.
loaf. It was really delicious.
Falls was
Homemade
known
veal.
for it, yeah.
It really was.
Interesting.
But we used to have the cows would come in on the rack, that quarter cow, and you would cut it up in the air and
Steamship.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
But now everything comes pre-cut.
I could have just called him.
Yeah.
Hit the cow in the head. Call Stefan. You're good.
There you go.
You're good. You're good.
And I think for a cow, it's going to take more than a punch to the head.
I think so too.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
I have the scars to prove it. That I was a butcher.
Nicking yourself.
So you're not
know,
saying what a
But you have all
kind
your
of a
digits.
butcher you were.
No. When you're young and stupid, you think you're, invincible.
Yes, I know. I spent that time at the hospital just slicing my tip of my finger off with a mandolin.
I got one here.
What?
Not with a
That was like about 2 months ago.
What did really? How did I miss that?
I got one right
Slicing
across.
an onion.
I got the one right across the thumb here from slicing turkey on a Thanksgiving afternoon. Yeah, it should have been stitched, but I fixed it myself.
See?
But the alcohol was involved with that
Oh,
because you're waiting for the damn bird to cook. So you're okay.
Well, the guy that taught me how to cut meat was a POW in World War II,
No kidding.
and he had the numbers on his.
I had a friend who had that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he told me one thing. He said, if you look at the blade, you always keep your eye on the blade. You will not cut yourself. And I thought about every time I've cut myself, I looked away.
Oh, okay, explain, Lucy. All the chefs on television. Okay, I'm looking right at the camera now, and I'm.
Because they know what they're doing.
Right. When you're learning,
Well,
you should
actually,
always keep your eye
if you
on
now, if you really pay attention to them, very rarely do you see them doing the claw when they're looking at the camera. They have their
to
hand
chef if he
up on the
looks.
top.
Right, because they're protected. I mean, listen, you can get really hurt. Like, we cut
I mean,
pork
I don't
chop-
always remember to do the claw when I'm cutting.
I'm not saying I still practice the best, but I try. I do watch the blade, and
Well, you know what they have now? You can order them on Amazon. If you have a hard time doing the claw, now the claw, for those who aren't really into culinary, you take your non-cutting hand and you make a fist. You put your knuckles together, and then that way there, you're kind of guiding the knife down, and you're not getting your digits
Just
in the way.
skin your whole hand off.
your whole hand
instead
off.
of
Yeah,
cut your
but
finger.
now they have
Good
this
to know.
thing. It has a little ring on it. You put it on your finger, and it's an aluminum or stainless steel shield that you
Okay.
can just go to town.
They also have gloves, mesh gloves, but I can't work.
Chainmail.
Chainmail gloves.
I
yeah.
can't work with those. I feel restricted. I don't know what it is. It's something.
You know what, Pete? I think if you're on a mandolin, they won't be too restrictive.
Yeah, right. No, I will never cut without the guide again because that was way too easy.
The worst thing I've
Nail
ever seen.
everything.
I
saw-
just don't do these things.
Well, I saw a meat cutter. You have the steel and you're sharpening your knife, and he wasn't paying attention. It slipped
Oh,
and
ow,
cut
oh.
right into there.
That thing. Okay, that's not sharpening.
Well, you're
Honing.
honing the blade.
Honing. Yeah.
What is?
Okay.
Wait a minute. What is honing the blade?
Honing. Okay, there's honing and there's sharpening. Sharpening is redoing the edge.
Okay.
Right. This just sharpens it up.
It's
Honing
like
is when you're
13 or 14
changing it?
degrees or whatever. Now honing, every now and then your blade we'll start to do one of these.
I gotcha.
So honing evens it back out.
Right.
So it makes it sharper, but
does.
it's not sharpening it.
I know what you're talking about.
And the other one, and that wasn't me. I mean, but that person was never able to move their thumb again because you cut a lot of tender stuff in there.
Yep. Yep. I'm sure
And then,
you do, right?
you cut pork chops on a bandsaw. I don't know if people knew that.
You cut more than pork chops on a bandsaw.
You cut.
You actually get those out of a pork loin.
Right.
Yeah.
Porterhouse steak, sirloin steak, many things cut on a bandsaw. And I saw someone cut their finger.
Yeah. Now the porterhouse, that's actually a combination
of a tenderloin and a sirloin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All I know is we take the cow down, we leave the cow off, we pick up the meat and bring it home. That's all I know.
There's so much more to
And
it.
we put it in the freezer.
I think that's why you and I really appreciate it.
Freezer.
It is, and when I was a butcher, I'll tell you, like if I got a nice, like some people want like the least amount of fat in their food. I think it
No,
dries
you want
it out.
fat
Like
in your food. That's what gives it flavor.
it gives it
Fat
flavor.
gives it flavor.
So I'd be, I'll cut like a ribeye or something. I'm like, oh my god, this thing is the perfect marbling. I mean, I had the first choice of any steak I wanted. It was just like, oh, I'll take that one. I'll take that one.
I'll bring you a steak.
Okay, I never turned that down.
I brought some.
Not a
to Ken.
vegetarian here.
I brought some to Ken.
By the way, how about them Yukon riots last night? Good Lord.
What's he talking about?
After the national championship game, they destroyed a few buildings. They
Really?
ripped down light poles, blew out the front doors of Gamble Pavilion.
There was a
Several
championship
arrests.
game?
Yeah, NCAA championship. Yukon won last night.
I missed that.
They beat San Diego State. Well, the game didn't start till like after 9.
And I had school committee till about 8:45, and
Right.
then I went home and I kind of went to bed.
So after midnight, after 11 o'clock, there was a riot on Yukon's campus.
And I
after they
didn't
won.
watch the news this morning.
Doesn't make sense. No, I didn't either.
My girlfriend's going. They're showing pictures. She's working in stores today. I know. Have a drink.
You said my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's working down in
Oh,
stores today. so
speaking
she's
of
like,
which, you'll be bringing something back for me next time you see her.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I've already been informed.
Oh, you already know. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Your mule has gotten their stuff.
Yeah, I had a
Good one.
product
Good
that
one.
would not ship to Massachusetts,
Really?
so I had
That's
to have it shipped
interesting.
down to
At least he asked
Connecticut.
permission.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I did before I even ordered.
Oh, we were trying to ship to New Zealand. It was a nightmare.
Because of the
Tall Duval.
Tall Duval, Mr. Rhino decided for all of us that we can't have anything flavored as far as nicotine is concerned here in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
You can't even go down to the corner store. and
Wasn't
buy a
that
pack of-
Baker?
Yeah,
I thought you said Duval.
Tall Duval.
Tall Duval.
Tall Duval.
Basically, it's the tall version of Duval Patrick.
Yeah,
That's what he
yeah.
calls
So you can't even go down to the corner store to get a pack of Newports anymore.
No, you can't.
No. Oh, and guess what? California just did that.
We did it before
We
California.
did it. We did it like a year and a half.
And Moore
before
wasn't even governor
California.
yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I vape 50% of the time than over smoking. So I'm trying to improve, but I like the breakfast and the bakery type.
Why don't you go to New Hampshire? Don't they sell flavored stuff?
I'd have to drive up there.
Oh, what an inconvenience.
My newest car is an 05 and it doesn't always start.
Uh-oh.
That's your own
So-
problem.
Oopsie.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oopsie.
Yeah, well, I just
My
have a
newest
shit.
car's a 19, and it starts every time.
Mine's a 19 too, and the custodians are giving me crap for not washing it, so I went to the car wash this weekend.
So what was I gonna?
I can see him doing that.
I was gonna
I
lead,
don't know.
lead into something
I've
there now. and I
totally, it hasn't made.
oh yeah,
any
we
difference.
took
We're
a
still
drink because
losing
he
it.
said my girlfriend.
Is that the rule?
Whenever he says my girl, yeah, that's
Yes.
that's like the Harry Rock drinking game. You know what that one is?
No, what's that one?
Okay, you know the Westfield history book
Yeah.
from the 350?
Yeah.
Yeah, you open it up and every time you see a picture of Harry
Oh
Rock,
dear
you
God,
drink.
it's every other picture.
Yeah, and
Every
by
other
by the
picture's
third
hilarious.
page or fourth page, you're already.
You're inebriated. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're kind of.
I know. Yeah,
I
that's
saw Harry
fine.
this weekend. I was out, so my mailbox was a casualty of the last storm. And I tried to fix it, and then I was trying to fix it again, and he drove by and he stopped and he's like, "God, you have to fix your." I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to hire someone to fix my mailbox," but
Yet you couldn't.
well, I could, but I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Not.
You weren't feeling it.
There are some things I can do, you know.
It's
I'm
not
not
that- it's
useless.
not that hard, yeah.
It's not that hard. But they won't deliver your mail if you don't have your mailbox like just a certain way.
And it has to be a certain height.
The rural
Yeah.
carriers are
Yeah.
worse. than
They
the-
have,
So
they have to be able to reach
okay,
out.
the
put it in.
funniest thing to me, can I this would be my version of a Ken rant here.
It's a monologue, sir.
Okay. I'm just so frustrated. So they delivered a package, the mail person, excuse me, delivered a package on my front door, but wouldn't drop the mail there.
That's kind of lame. Well, actually, it's
You even
usually
have a
it's two
mail
different
person.
people.
Isn't that, don't you have what's called a rural carrier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got 2 notes in the mailbox, which wasn't properly heighted or whatever. I had the right height.
Somebody was having a bad day.
Has to be the
And
right
she
height.
put not 1, but 2 guideline rules for me in case I didn't know.
God forbid you have an older house downtown Westfield where you have to walk up to the front door and lift open a
Think and
flap.
put it in. I know. But my frustration, so yesterday my mail's box is fixed, and I still didn't get any mail.
Dirty Turkish harker back flat and Morton, Philip Bunker Martin.
So where the heck's my mail? Okay, that was my...
We'll send you letters and we'll see.
I won't get it. And I pay most of my stuff online now. I mean, I kind of gravitated to that, but there's still a few bills I pay by check, and there's a couple, because I get an email every day telling me what my mail would be from the U.S. Post Office, so I know what I'm missing.
I'm not eligible for that.
Why?
For some reason, my address or street or whatever, they don't do it.
Because you're multifamily, I bet.
That could
Maybe
be it.
that's why.
Yeah.
Because then you'd see everyone else's mail, too.
Well, no. Technically, and it's Flora 1 and Flora 2, and it's that way. Actually, at City Hall and the post office, we changed it to 12 and 12 and a half. But of all the only other place, gas and electric, it's Flora 1 and Flora 2.
Flora 2.
They won't change it. But,
You've installed your new. I see you installed your new greeting system up there.
Yeah. Back to food.
Back to food.
You know what?
Did you see the
Or
menu
we were on
for
food?
Thursday yet?
No.
No. Okay.
I'll have to
You
look.
go ahead and you know
Besides
exactly where to
Twinkies?
find it.
I do, and I'm having lunch here because I can't resist.
Is it a buffet?
No.
All right.
But it is.
Jeez, I didn't see that come across my Facebook feed.
I posted
No,
it
I
on
don't either. I
Westfield.
usually see it.
I posted it on
Experience
Westfield Public Schools, and I posted it on Westfield Tech Academy. So
Ah.
the menu. So the soups are creamy mushroom
And this for
cheddar.
what day?
Thursday. They're only open Thursday because Friday schools are closed. It's Good Friday.
Okay.
So we have creamy mushroom cheddar or Manhattan clam chowder.
Okay.
The entree, the Caesar salad, grilled chicken Caesar salad is the salad, but they have Mediterranean shrimp and zucchini, which is sautéed shrimp with garlic, zucchini, grape tomatoes, asparagus, chickpeas, and basil served with a petite salad and choice of dressing. And then the one that I'm getting is the grilled terrace major steak, marinated grilled tenderloin finished with mushroom espagnole sauce, served with roasted fingerling potatoes and fresh asparagus. I love fingerling potatoes. Do you guys like fingerlings?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
They're really good. They have a nice
You,
flavor.
you know, I think I'm going to be down here on Thursday.
Because you're doing some Twinkies, aren't you? And then the sandwich special, which I could get that too.
Oh, is it Cubano?
I wish.
All right, because Chef Rogers said it's coming up.
Good. I like a good Cuban.
Yeah.
When I was in Florida, they did I had a Cuban there, just like without. All right, so instead of ham, they put salami. What do you think of that?
Interesting.
There's a couple of places that just do Cubanos down there, and they'll do a turkey one and a
Either one.
ham.
Okay.
And
I like the ham one. It's my favorite. But
the ham with the pulled pork.
I like
is the
I think the salami one was really, was just a little salty.
Yeah.
Because salami's salty by nature, right?
Well,
But,
yeah, it tends to be.
Yeah,
anyway.
I end up whenever I'm down there, I have a Cubano delivered from El Loco Tropical.
And is it delicious?
They're pretty darn good. It's a chain, but they're good.
So the sandwich is an applewood smoked bacon cheddar burger.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
I'm gonna lose some time on Thursday. You know where else I'm losing a lot of time down here?
What?
Next week.
Why? Because you're not going to be here.
No,
No,
that's
he'll
the
be
week
here.
after. Oh.
yeah, we're leaving.
actually
Are you
weren't supposed
Are you
to
a
be here.
chef too? Are you a chef? Are you a judge?
I am supposed to be a judge, and I'm also the technician working down in the kitchen.
I'm doing 2 of the 3 days.
All right. So I also have I brought in Chef Kyle Cordes from Emma's to judge us as well.
Nice.
So and I've looked at the items that they're going to be cooking. You're going to be missing the
best one.
The best one.
I'm aware.
Because it's surf and turf.
Yeah, I hate surf and turf.
Well, you know what? We're going to have to find a third judge for that day because I have a mild shellfish allergy. So although I could judge the cook on the shellfish, I really shouldn't be eating it. So
I can give you an EpiPen.
Yeah. I'd rather not have to go through that.
EpiPen, an insulin shot. What's the matter?
Yeah.
We'll use you as a pincushion.
It doesn't stop my breathing. It just gets me dizzy and.
Oh well, he can still breathe. So
if you can still breathe, what are you passing that up
He
for?
still has to function as an engineer, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuses.
Yeah, so I'm working down there all weekend. I saw your name
Peter.
on the board, and you tried to do it last year, but it never ended up happening, right?
No, didn't happen.
All right.
This year I'm in. But I wish I could make it all 3 days. But
have you been watching the TV shows on Food Network in order to get an idea of the?
I've watched enough to know.
Yeah.
I will freshen up for next week. I will get myself there. I'm excited, and I think it's a great way. And I thank you. You know, even when I posted the concert, I thanked you on our Facebook page. I don't know if you noticed that.
Which concert?
The
Spring Sing?
Big Spring Sing.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay, yeah.
Because
That was, so you were there.
I tried to go.
Oh, okay. All right.
I listened from the outside. Listen, the doors were closed when I got there, and they had already because they were at capacity, right?
Yeah.
And I listened for a bit, and I wasn't going to be that guy to walk in because I'm the superintendent when there's all these parents
You
out
should have
there.
went backstage.
The doors were locked on either side. I did look at that. But again, I'm no better than the parents. The parents deserve to be there more than me, I feel like, because it's their kids that are performing.
Well, and because Kenny was in there, they have a record of it.
Well, also, they did a second show, and I didn't hang around to hear that part, and I'm a little disappointed. But I'll be honest with you, and so I've had some feedback, and I'll say this. We've never sold out. Well, we didn't sell, but we've never been at maximum capacity like that. I've never seen that. And pre-COVID, we had the Big Spring Sing, and we didn't have that. So I apologize, but we did not anticipate that many people.
Even the
showing up.
second round, which wasn't going to happen, that auditorium, I think, was 2/3.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fantastic.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. It's a good problem to have.
Well, they added more seats to Pops, too.
Yeah, they had to. And I was at Pops. That one I got into.
Yeah, that one I saw you at.
But it was I had all these people that were grumbling outside, and I wasn't going to walk in. So I didn't think that would be a good look.
Yeah.
But I did watch the show after you sent it to me, so thank you. And I really wanted to be there. I was a few minutes after 2:00, and they had already closed the door.
All right. So
And Pops is now up on the YouTube channel, too. So, and what's nice thing is, because we had those little Zoom cameras, we had them capture the Jazz Cafe was the only thing different between the two nights. So we had them record the Jazz Cafe from night 1, and we included that in the video from night 2.
And that was good. Unfortunately, I can't sit near food, I've learned when I go to those places because I smell it.
Yo,
You sit near the popcorn machine?
Yeah, I had to eat I ate a whole bag of popcorn. I'm like,
we were so busy we never got to the popcorn.
well, I was
machine.
like, this
We
is
were
a
right
great
next to
market.
it.
Well, this is a great marketing strategy, by the way.
am I blocking
something
you
about
from that
popcorn.
monitor because I see you looking over there?
That's fine, no worries.
Oh, okay.
There's something.
But am I
about the
blocking
smell
you?
of
I
the
need to
phone.
know if it's placed right.
I can't see it.
I can't see that.
Oh,
either.
okay.
It's okay.
All right.
It's all right. There's something about the smell of popcorn, though. You just can't.
I know, I can't resist.
Can't resist.
And then I had to get a drink because popcorn's a little,
'Cause it's
you
dry.
know. So it's like, wow.
Here we go.
There's a reason they used to serve popcorn at bars.
You know what? I remember that
Yeah, and
actually.
salted peanuts.
99 popcorn. That's
The 99
what
was
we go for.
that's the
They still do, and then
It's
the
the only reason
ground
I'll go to
round.
99.
The ground round.
Ground round,
And I
you
think
throw
the
them on the
tavern
floor.
has it too.
I've never had popcorn
There's
at
a
the tavern.
popcorn machine in the back.
Well, they need to use it.
Yeah, they
I don't know
every
if
so
they
often
use
I think
it.
they
Yeah, I
use it.
think they. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, so you saw that video from the Spring Sing. Now, if
seen
we happen to come across a couple,
They
of
did my theme song.
I know. I saw it.
Yeah,
I saw it get flagged on
and you saw my message to you on that. But maybe it might be nice to I don't know, come across a couple of grants so we can get a few more lights in there, so we can light up everything, because I only had lights on the stage. So the folks that were down on the floor and to the left and to the right, they were a little dark in that video. A couple of times they brought the house lights up just to try to help out.
The lighting in there is not good.
By the way,
never has been.
For the concert series for next year, I have a request.
What is it?
For both the cabaret and Pops, I want to see the jazz combo and the show choir do a crossover, Love the One You're With, on both shows.
Have you expressed that to Corey or?
No, but I'm gonna. I told Kenny about it. He thought it was a great idea.
Next Wednesday is we do a veterans luncheon here now. I think you know that, once a month, which I think is absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
And the show choir is performing for the veterans this Wednesday. So Corey will
That's
be
cool.
there. So they do a great job. Both our band and our chorus. We have an outstanding music program, and I think the Big Spring Sing, from what I heard, and obviously when I was there, and then when I watched the video, we have a wonderful music program here in the city of Westfield.
We do?
We do. And arts too, but and that's coming up. I mean, right now we have a bunch of student art on display at the Westfield Athenaeum. Into the Arts is April 28th and 29th, and that ends with It's Bantastic, right? So all the band students from the city of Westfield Public Schools will be performing together. And that's just a huge feat. I mean, I want you to think about that. Grades 4 through 12.
Yeah, we'll let them borrow 2 Zoom cameras.
I mean, there were over 400 students singing at that event.
Incredible. So, I just think that's phenomenal. And it's certainly a tribute to our instructors, too, who'd really engage the kids. I mean, we've had them at school committee meetings singing for us. It's just, they're just so talented. And I love music. I think you know that. And that's why
I
love making the list.
And that was right up on my next topic here before we hit the top of the hour.
Now, for the first time ever, too, Westfield Intermediate and Westfield Middle School are recording their concerts for air.
That's great.
Because I bought those little Zoom cameras, and
Thank
they
you,
can
Pete.
operate them easily.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got to ask you about those cameras, because we need to put one in, Peter. So remind me to touch base.
Well, you can
with
borrow
you on
one
that.
for the 1776.
Yeah, we need one for 3 weeks, though, so that wouldn't work. But I'll talk to you.
You can probably borrow one for 3 weeks.
I'll talk to you.
We may have enough of them.
You were talking about in the schools and the art programs, and I have to tell you, because I'm so involved in the theater and always have been, and I ran a program for the elementary schools for 20-something years, and I still do it in the summer. 4th grade, Highland School, my teacher put us on stage in a play, and that's when I knew. And had it not been for Mrs. Maris, Arno Maris's wife from Westfield State, had it not been for her, who knows? So what we're doing in school makes a difference.
It really
for
does.
These kids.
It really does.
It makes a difference. There's a friend of mine who is I won't mention his name, but he is a music teacher now, and he was at Southampton Road, and Gene Bartley came in with his band to play for the elementary kids, and he said, I knew then what I wanted to do.
That's awesome.
And it's great to be sports. It's great to be a football player. It's great to be a baseball player. That's fabulous. I'm glad you have the talent. But music, arts, they last a lifetime.
They do.
I can only play football if I have a team. I can only play basketball if I have a
And
court.
good knees and good legs
Exactly.
and health.
But I can be an artist for my entire life.
Right.
So as we tried to segue into making the list,
And now, making the list with Ken
so
Czaporowski.
several months ago, Zap jinxed it by doing a snow day.
Months ago now.
And then the following month, he jinxed it by having a snow day. And then this time around,
It's like May 16th, isn't it?
Peter and Kenny jinxed it.
Yeah, so not
because
not it.
It's Kenny and Pete's fault now because the Falcon Heavy launch
got moved.
was moved.
Pushed.
So the next time we are playing it is the 16th.
Yeah.
And I just got email from Hope, and she's on and she's good.
16th of May, right?
Yes.
And 223.
Yes, and then Bob and Rick will already be here, so we're all good to go.
If it snows
Maybe.
that day, I'm done.
Maybe.
If it snows this day, I'm gonna
Tornado.
I'll figure out
floods,
something.
Fires.
Yeah, at that point, what are we doing?
Herd rhinoceros.
Although
charging
in Montgomery, one year, May 13th, I had snow.
we had a snowstorm here on Mother's Day weekend. Years and years and years ago, but it was Mother's
You know where they don't have snow?
Yeah, I know. Florida.
Yeah. Stefan, I want to thank you for taking a little bit of time and chatting with us. I know you have your own
Good to see you
program,
again.
but you usually you're talking district, you're talking school, you're not really talking about
everything else
and anything else. So
anything else.
I'm going to go out with this old WTA theme song.
Yeah. So this gives you
good one.
A venue to do that every so often.
I appreciate it, and I was around anyway, so it worked out.
Yeah. So I will see you on Thursday.
Yeah, where we both will need.
Yeah,
a shot.
Yeah, we're gonna need insulin after that program.
EpiPen.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking I want to try the regular and the strawberry. That's 2.
Oh boy,
I'm down with that.
If there's a banana, I might try 3.
If you are going to press your luck,
yeah.
I will press my luck alongside you. What? Well, we'll both bring in our glucose monitors and see who gets the higher number of the two.
This is what you guys will be doing at the end of that show.
After one of the buffets over here, and I had 2 desserts, I went over 300 on my.
You did?
Yeah.
So last week I had lunch there too, and I'm like, okay, no desserts, and then I'm like. But that carrot cake looks so damn perfect.
Their carrot cake is awesome.
It's perfect, and it was perfectly frosted. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I'll do that. That's it, though. That's it.
Just a taste.
And then they did those cookies with the jelly in the middle, the thumb things. I love those. And I'm like, okay, just one.
Pivot.
I had 6.
Yeah. What'll happen is I'll go down and I'll see the carrot cake. And then as I glance over, they bring something different out, like a mocha coffee chocolate cheesecake.
Yeah, like
oh come on,
it's just not fair, Ken. That's what it's not fair. We can all argue.
So I go home, I take a nap, and my body will.
Because at that time
recover.
it has to.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Gone.
Crash.
So I'll see you on Thursday to spike our sugar, and I'll catch you at the judging table next week.
All right, thanks, Ken.
All right.
Nice
Thank
to see
you.
you, Kathy.
All right.
All right.
Shift work, hard work, tired body, a blue collar shirt and a baseball cap, union made. He's hot, sweat drops round the clock. The door never locks and the noise never stops, night or day. Working 7 to 3, or 3 to 11, 11 to 7.
Shift work, tough work, for the busy convenience store clerk to feed that herd, going insane. She's mad at some lad, drove off and didn't pay for his gas, and he won't be the last. Around the clock pain, working 7 to 3, or 3 to 11, 11 to 7.
I'm talking about a bunch of shift work,
a big old pile of shift work.
7 to 3, or 3 to 11, 11 to 7. Well, I worked shift work, continued, man, I hated that work. Then I made a break with the money I saved. It took me to the beach to have a beer by the edge of the sea in this round-the-clock place. I drank my money away. We partied 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. I'm talking about a bunch of shift work, a big old pile of shift work. 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. Talking about a bunch of shift work, a big old pile of shift work. 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley, and I have diabetes. It hurts me to pee, and it causes me to be short with my family. I can't sleep at night. The other day, I stubbed my toe and took it out on the dog. And 2 weeks ago, I ran out of vanilla ice cream and struck my wife. And then I find out my wife's been dead for 6 years. Who the hell did I hit?
This message brought to you by the National Diabetes Association.
Where do you find
I'll be
this?
back.
Where? Yeah. I'm
Well,
going with
after
you.
that last conversation,
I know
I
it was on diabetes. I know.
yeah,
I know.
diabetes.
It just cost my daughter $1,000 to get her diabetes meds. $1,000.
The one here, or the one there.
The one down in Salem.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and that's she has insurance, but that's what the deductible is. So nobody should pay $1,000 when you have to have life-saving medication. But oh well, that's enough of that. I have another person on my right.
Is it the beginning of their?
It is.
Okay, so she has to reach her.
After that, it's only $50 a month, which is still outrageous to me. But oh well. But she doesn't do what you do and eat until you have to go home and sleep.
Well, she's a different type.
She is type 1.
Yeah, she's a different type.
So
we
L24.
Yeah, as you were trying to get into, we changed things up in here a little bit.
Changed things up, so this is no longer Stefan to my right. You never even introduced us this morning.
I didn't even introduce myself.
No, you didn't. And you are who?
No, I'm Kathy Palmer.
Oh, really? No, your hair is too pretty. Kathy doesn't have that nice long hair.
Yeah.
She has that short, kinky flyaway.
Are you kidding me? This is Cocoa Bean Brown number 42.
Coffee bean brown. Coffee bean brown number 42. That's it. Coffee bean brown number 42.
Chef John Slattery's back in town.
Oh.
We missed you, John. We haven't seen you for a while. It's spring. It's ready to forage.
Almost, yeah. I was on Mass Appeal last week, and I was talking about.
I saw you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I saw him on Mass Appeal as well, and I wish I could remember what he made. Do you even remember what you made?
I do. These were good ones. These were really good ones.
If I remember, one of them tickled my fancy, and one of them, for me, was, I don't know. What were they? Was one a salad?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it was a salad.
No.
All right.
Are we keeping you awake, Kath?
Yeah.
The first segment was a curried carrot fried rice.
I love fried rice.
Yeah, with spring vegetables.
Okay, yeah.
Curried carrot.
Yeah.
I'll bet that was awesome.
And then the second one was a spring onion soup with Parmesan crisps.
That-
Or
that- that-
cheese
that-
crisps. They weren't
that's
Parmesan, they were
right.
cheese crisps. And I basically made what I made was Cheez-Its. With gluten-free Cheez-Its with only 3 ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah, because that's the one I remember looking at. And was like, okay, that's 1 or 2 steps away from French onion.
Yeah, well, it's way a lot less steps than French onion.
Well, yeah, but
it's and the spring onions by only using like the green onions and the shallots, it really makes the flavors pop. You know.
I'm glad you mentioned spring onions because I take a look in my backyard and where my tenant plants their flowers and stuff. I'm seeing things grow. There's like 4 or 5 inches worth of, I don't know if they're ferns or tulips or whatever, but I'm starting to see things in. My father knows my father knows I have a program on Tuesday mornings, and last night I told him, hey, I'm going to be busy until about 11 o'clock tomorrow. I hope he's not getting released from the hospital.
He
right
wants
now.
out.
Well, you're just gonna have to wait. So I'm taking a look at these flowers and stuff starting to come up in the garden. How far away are we from being able to forage?
Foraging.
Yeah, I'd say maybe in the sunniest spots in the woods, the ramps there might be a few next week, but. I mean,
the snow just cleared in a lot of places.
Yeah, it's still in. The woods.
I know. I'm
Even
pushing
should
it.
be
It's
there.
early.
Yeah, it's early. It's because what's today? This is the first week of April. Yeah, so like mid-April to late April. That's when they should really be. The ramps will be really full, and the fiddleheads are after that, going towards June. Through May, and then the wild asparagus and stuff like that starts coming in June. So
Okay,
that's
you
the green
said
thing.
wild asparagus. I don't think you said those 2 words together on this program before.
Only because there's places where I know where asparagus has probably been abandoned so long ago that it's now just
Hadley grass has expanded.
Yeah. So there were places because that's like one of the big products here. But so many people, like if there was an old farmstead that grew it, now there's asparagus. So I guess it's not technically wild, but
unattended.
Yeah.
And asparagus is pretty hardy, so that'll keep growing.
Yeah. As long as you don't pick it. What happens with asparagus is people. I had this one family I knew. It grows all year. It'll keep growing and growing and growing, keep making more. But if you keep picking it, and you can keep picking it, but if you pick it past June, it stops putting nutrients into the thing. And as the years progress, if you keep doing that, picking it past June, it never gets enough strength, and then the patch will just die. But if you only pick it till June every year and let it go to seed, let it do its thing, it'll last forever and keep getting bigger and bigger.
All right. I've actually sat on a porch in Hadley and watched it grow.
The big field of it, yeah. It blows in the wind. It's like corn. Very similar to corn plants, just blowing in the wind.
No, not blow, grow.
That fast?
Actually, asparagus grows that fast.
Okay.
In an hour or so, it'll go up in a couple of inches if the weather is right.
If the conditions are right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see a couple inches of growth. Yeah.
Excuse me. Take a look at the clouds over by the green.
I know. Isn't that like a picture? I was taking a couple of still frames because it's like picturesque.
Very.
Wow.
Lovely downtown Westfield.
I wanted to bring this up with Zap earlier, but we just ran out of time.
But he's not here now.
Yeah, and we don't always have to talk about food. I want to talk about, this kind of relates to food. Groceries. Groceries are going up in price.
Oh, yeah.
Some people are getting priced out. Unfortunately, the locally grown stuff may even be a little more expensive, pricing some people out. And I'm saying that because this article in the paper was actually yesterday. So even Walmart is getting on this.
I saw that article, yeah.
Yeah. So $90 cream for your skin and $10 toothpaste. The companies are deciding to go after the wealthier people and the big spenders because they realize that they still have money to spend. So now they are coming out with products geared towards them, which ultimately now, according to this article, will reduce what's available to the lower and middle income people.
100%. There's only so much space on the shelves in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that can affect people food wise and nutrition wise even. Because then you'd be forced to buy. Okay, geez. Well,
You notice that in the grocery store now a little bit too. As like the high, there would be some higher end. The grocery stores are willing to carry some of the higher end, like say spices or things like that. And so there'll be less of the one. There used to be 3 varieties.
yeah.
3 varieties of like medium price or discount, low price, and so now there's only 5 spots if they're bringing in too high.
I've noticed less of the Oberia brand in the store because they're making room for things. In this article, they even mention 5 Beyond or 5 Below. They're adding a section in their stores now called 5 Beyond. It's kind of like when the Dollar Tree became the $1.25 tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? All of these places didn't have any pricing issues, even through the problems we had in 2008. I don't get it. But here's something else in the article here. Heinz Ketchup is releasing a line of chef-inspired condiments called Heinz 57, not 57 sauce, which we used to get that all the time when I was growing up.
Heinz 57 was the 57 sauce, so if they're calling the program 57, it must be other sauces that they create.
Yeah, it's called condiments called Heinz 57. Now it's a 11 1/4 ounce container of ketchup. No, it's not even ketchup. This isn't a bad price.
Heinz
then.
57 sauce.
No. It's an 11.25 ounce container of infused honey with black truffle that costs roughly $7. $7 ain't bad for that. For 11 1/4 ounce?
The fact it's coming from Heinz, though, has just got my head hurting.
Yeah, well, we know it's not going to be local honey that's good for you.
Right.
It's going to be the processed
So that's
honey.
the whole thing. They're faking a product that should be good for you, and they're getting people to buy it, and it's not going to give them the benefit of it, but they're profiting off of that.
So yeah, in this case, honey, all it is sweetener. It's not local. It doesn't have anything for antihistamine.
Well, it's been
It's
processed.
been processed
out.
and strained and all these things, and comes from multiple sources likely, and all kinds of stuff like that.
That happens with a lot of the milk products. It's everything that's good in the natural milk just gets processed right out.
And then the truffle they included with this now. I would imagine that's just probably a tincture or
some sort of truffle additive, truffle concentrate, truffle. Yeah. So
because those little mushrooms that the pigs find, they're what are they like $500?
Oh God,
a piece?
yes.
Yeah, about like $400 an ounce. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So $10 toothpaste.
Did you see speaking of stuff like this in the news, the record profits that the egg producers made off of this egg crisis?
Shortage?
Yeah. Shortage. They just
I
kept
didn't
raising
see
the
this
prices.
Not a shortage.
They just kept raising the prices.
Well, no, it is a shortage because they had the bird flu going around, and there was a shortage of chickens.
Maybe, but they had record profits, and
it's like the oil companies. They had record profits
create
when
shortages.
when all the gas went up.
Yeah, it's same thing that the government created that shortage too.
It's not a shortage. It's a distribution problem. Our country supplies enough food to feed us in a lot of areas, but
we waste 30% of our
because
food.
we waste it. It's not. The system is broken. There's just so much is goes wrong. Back even in the 90s when they were dumping all the milk in the ocean and stuff like that because they just had too much milk. If we just had better processes to use what we had and like they did a long time ago where we didn't throw anything away. That's why I'm so passionate about, at least in your homestead or in your community, trying to use as much as you can and reduce and make things last and turn things from one thing into another.
Yeah, when the paper the other day said, America wastes 30% of their food, and I take a look at what I'm putting into my trash, I'm nowhere near 30%. I can't comprehend.
I go 2 weeks without putting my trash barrel out.
I can't comprehend going and throwing away 30% of my food. Yeah, supposedly that's what America is doing.
I think it's easier to monitor it, like if you're only cooking or buying for one person. If you're buying for a family, your kids don't eat it, you throw it away.
Well,
kids don't want
No,
it.
no. If you don't eat it, you go hungry. Like when I was 8 years old.
That goes on how you serve it, how you store it, and then what you can do with the leftovers from a meal. Meal planning and all that. The other thing with the eggs that I was thinking about was, and I lost it.
The cage-free thing that Massachusetts requires, that added to it.
That added to it a little bit too.
That added a permanent price increase to it.
Yeah.
In this state it did, yeah.
If it comes back, I'll bring it up.
I'm just taking a look at the beautiful, marvelous color of that royal blue shirt, and it's reminding me of the old wall we had.
Right. I actually, when I put it on,
matches-
remembered I did the trick where I could
It
disappear.
matches the front of the.
Oh, yeah, look at that, the trim on our desk.
You match.
Yeah. But he would have, his chest would have chromed out with the old wall with that shirt on.
Apparently, we all got the black memo, though.
I'm always. When was the last time you saw me out of a black T-shirt?
The good guys always
That's a
wear
good
black.
question.
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
You got that backwards, don't you?
No, that's Johnny Cash, right? The good guys always wear black.
The man in black.
The man in black, yeah.
Yeah.
Man in
Yeah, but in the movies, it was always the bad guy that
wore
wears black.
Yep.
Well,
And they were always
that just
called
tells you that
stone.
movies are not necessarily reality.
Al-
right?
al- Although the
Who would have thought?
although the Earps wore black,
The herbs. All right.
and depending on how you look at them, they were good.
We've digressed a bit, Chef.
I'm not sure.
No, we're back on the herbs. Herb. Sounds like burp, which brings us back to
Food. Yeah. Good.
Just see what I did there?
I like that.
Yeah.
There we go. So
They
have
call it
we
word
gained your
association.
train of thought?
Yeah.
We were talking about price of eggs. We were talking about throwing food away, and we were talking about how you serve it, how you store it.
I'm glad she can keep track of
I'm
this.
trying to
I know you're trying to jog it. It's gone.
jog the memory
Yeah.
of how you store it.
I got so passionate about that that I like whatever the point.
I think
was
a lot of
quoting.
it too is the generation that you're raised in too, because I was raised in the generation that your parents cooked everything
Came
and
back.
used everything.
There you go.
Got it?
Yeah.
Stop.
The eggs. The study from the European country where they gave all the families 2 chickens
Okay.
in this whole town. Chickens, if every family had whatever the amount of chickens is to eat that 30%, they eat 30% of the kitchen scraps. Chickens do. And they lay eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So not only does it reduce waste, it provides protein for the household. And that is why the egg companies don't want that to happen.
So the chickens,
But we could literally solve 2. They've proved
the chickens eat table scraps.
Yeah, everything. They can eat all the food.
So if you had a McDonald's McChicken burger or whatever, and you threw it outside the chickens would be eating chicken.
They would pretty much pick anything. I mean, obviously, you should. If you eat McDonald's,
Make them cannibals.
That's kind of but
Waiting for that.
you should make if you're eating good food and feeding your leftovers to the birds, you're then making the birds better. I can't imagine that if you're feeding them takeout food, you're like that's going to decrease the quality.
I was looking for a type of chicken to feed the chicken.
Yeah, I get it. Cannibalism. You just want some of that. Yeah.
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 They'll pretty much eat all food scraps, so it's that reduces that weight problem in the trash and provides a protein source. The other thing too, like the egg industry, breakfast joints with eggs being so cheap, they can still charge. There's a profit, a good profit. There was a good profit margin. So by raising the price of eggs, small businesses, especially small breakfast joints and small around the country, or like people do food trucks for breakfast sandwiches and stuff like that, that just tripled their main cost of protein or quadrupled the main cost of protein. Their profit margin slumped. Now that it completely changed that business.
Yeah,
model.
I just saw
those are independent businesses.
Yeah,
and so that's something where the government, the big corporations, are trying to stop people who have found ways to make a living. Turning, buying an apple for 1 cent and selling it for 3. That's
Yeah. I just saw a menu online where the breakfast was, I think, $6. Oh, if you want 2 eggs to go with that, it was another $4.
So that might have been a small business because the big businesses absorbed the cost of the egg increase and still kept the prices of their meals.
You know what? In our travels, Pete and I will hit some national chain places, and then they do a couple of them. We're charging extra for the egg.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Speaking of travels,
and I didn't mind it a few years ago when they charged 50 cents for $1 more, but when it's $3 or $4 to get it over easy, I mean, well, now that's now more than the cost of the dozen. And speaking of which, the pricing, Aldi, it was like $2.59 for a dozen cage-free eggs. I mean, they're not at the $6, $7, $8 price point where they were heading towards not that long ago.
Well, that's the same thing we were just talking about at the beginning of this conversation you started, where the high-end products are showing up, taking away the slots for the low-end products.
Yeah.
It's not that low-end products don't exist. It's that the stores are making more money by getting more revenue through by having those higher ticket.
Now what do you get with a higher revenue or higher quality egg over a basic cage-free egg?
So, suppose, maybe because maybe the chickens got petted, or the eggs were gathered by hand, or the feed is a certain kind of feed. So, I mean, there are all these things that energetically and
how
will increase.
And
the
how
level of
does
egg.
petting a chicken change the egg?
By giving it good energy, it's going to make
It's a
good
polite
energy
egg.
in the food. Just like Wagyu beef, they massage the cows. It's about giving energy.
But the Wagyu ends up with a different type of marbling altogether, though. So
We
what
have a
happens to the
Wagyu.
egg?
It gains
I'll let you know.
energetic nutrition.
Okay. All right. And how do I see that?
I don't know. And I'll get you to what? You can't see the results of the massage. The massage is not causing the marbling. The diet is causing
The diet is causing the
The diet is
marbling.
causing the marbling. You cannot see the
All
results.
right, listen.
Yeah.
We have a Wagyu
Yeah, the
cow.
diet is.
I will let you know next year.
You have a cow?
We have we have somebody else keeping it,
Oh, I got you.
but we have a Wagyu, so I will let you know.
You'll let me know. You won't let me find out for
go and-
myself?
maybe I'll go and sing to it.
Yes,
I'll see if that helps.
it will.
They used
100% will.
They used to say things like if you play music in your parlor.
Yeah, do you talk to
in
your
milk
plant?
parlor.
Sometimes I sing to them.
Do they
I,
listen?
I do my breath work in the area of my house where my plants are, so that I'm exhaling and inhaling
It's
with
the
them.
oxygen.
Your breath work?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're adding oxygen to.
So you're
the
breathing.
Systematic breathing. There are many cultures around the world where they've learned that if we breathe in certain patterns, that we can increase different health of our bodies. And
Patterns. We're talking about like Morse code where
you-
you have one in and two out?
the biggest example would be that everybody's familiar with is Lamaze.
Yep.
For birthing.
Okay.
So that's or
Okay.
or this guy called Wim Hof, where they do that, and then they do cold plunges and like they regulate their nervous system through breath.
So your plants know when you're doing that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you're adding,
plus, I'm also giving off a lot more.
you're adding oxygen to the plant.
I'm giving off carbon dioxide for the plant. That's what their favorite thing. Well, I'm doing my work.
okay.
Like
And,
dioxide, excuse
and
me,
they
yes,
give off
you're right.
oxygen for me. So,
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I tried to keep a plant in my house and it died.
Oh, I gotta water mine. I have a plant in my house.
That's one of the services
my
I
mother
offer.
died
I'm
in
also
the
a plant waterer.
My mother died in the 1980s, and I still have that plant.
I was just in Washington, D.C. for a week, and I think 3 different houses. I repotted plants and trimmed them up, made sure they're all water properly, gave the people who owned them instructions.
So are you basically a handy person now? A house sitter?
Well, sometimes, if that's what's necessary. You need to be fed and you need your cat watched.
Okay, you can go away on vacation. I'll rearrange your cupboards and
Yes, all of it. All of it.
I'll make you your own.
And when you
secret-
come back, the fridge will be full of food that you want to eat, and all the things will be there that you need.
Yeah, I'll make your own special spice rub.
Yep. That's all of the many.
With the leftover expired stuff in your cabinet.
Yeah, well, that way we get it all out of the way in 1 or 2 rubbed chickens or something like that. And then now you have fresh stuff in the cabinet.
Now, are you able to grow anything this summer yourself?
I have a couple of spots that have offered me space to grow things, so I'm going to get a small amount of stuff in motion, but I have the festival schedule is pretty full for harvest time, so I'm trying to gauge what I'll be able to actually use and where I'll be at that time.
Okay.
So I understand the whole harvest time thing. So does that mean you're going to be around a little bit more now that we're heading into spring and summer? Because I know that for a good chunk of the last 3 months it was hard to find you.
Well, actually, the last 2 months I've been home hanging out, but the last 18 months before that was kind of floaty.
Oh, okay.
You
You should have told me you were home hanging out.
Yeah.
Come on.
We didn't know because I kept seeing pictures of you everywhere on the continent.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. You were home,
care.
but you're posting pictures of you doing a festival here.
Mark,
or-
I was so bored. I was trying to remind people that I can do these things.
Okay, you see, and I thought you were away because of
I
it.
thought you were gone.
Yeah.
And I was in D.C. in January, and then back again last month for a little while.
So why would one go to D.C. in January? Usually in January, I'd go someplace further down south.
They had the most amazing 2,000-person intentional dance and like festival in like a giant Marriott.
Oh, all right.
Like at night there were literally one dance floor had maybe 800 people partner dancing to a certain style, and then the next one would have 600 people dancing to another style. Another room, it was this beautiful amalgamation of communities of different styles of dance, healing arts, learning about breathwork, learning about intimate relating, all kinds of beautiful things. And it was just this beautiful container.
And you fed these people?
I gave nourishment in different ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I helped organize.
I figure, a big Marriott, convention center, they're going to have their.
No, they didn't allow any like vendors or food.
Oh, okay,
They wanted, so I kind of went
off
to
the book.
the festival the first time and try and figure out how we can kind of like add a nourishment component, sneaking under the Marriott rules maybe, or within their guidelines.
Yeah, it used to be when I used to go to larger conventions at big convention centers, like the Texan Gaylord and the big places, Orlando, Vegas. The hotel services would take care of your lunch and your dinner and everything. But then you had the snack breaks and everything in between, and it was all up to them. There was no outside, nothing. And that's when it was about 10 years ago, I was first introduced to the Cliff Bar because of it. and then between every other breakout session now that I attended, there was a break. I always had, back then, I carried a laptop bag with me without the laptop in it, just so I'd have it attached. So I'd hit one table, grab 2 Cliff Bars, walk over to another table 20 feet away, grab another couple Cliff Bars. I had enough to last me a month by the time I got home.
Cliff pilfer you.
Yeah.
Hey, them some bitches are like $4 or $5 a piece.
That's what I'm saying.
Now they are.
Yeah.
The funny thing the really cool thing about this festival was there were 2,000 people there. There was somebody from 15 of my last events prior to that. From every single one. And, I've been all over the country. Mexico, California, Florida.
Yeah, because Mexico is part of the country.
Well, all over the continent. I'm sorry. I get excited now, right?
Well, there are some people who
because
think
you're international.
Well, Baja California is just like an extension of kind of like the United States because it runs down from California and doesn't connect it to mainland Mexico. So I get a little confused. But how amazing. There are 15 people from, there are people from all 15 events. I knew about 300 people out of these 2,000 people.
It's crazy.
And it was just like this beautiful, that's what I do. I meet people and there's these connections that happen and it just these communities keep growing and there's a lot of nourishment that goes along with that.
Yeah, when I used to go to these conventions, 2,000 or so people, I may know personally 8 or 9, but friendly with, 20 or 30, and that's it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And it was a specialized field too.
Mm-hmm. That's why though.
It was installing satellite dishes. We should know each other a little more, but those days are gone. So you're gonna stop seeing a reflector on your house pretty soon. As soon as you get fiber over in the hill towns, no one's gonna need DirecTV or Dish Network. It's not even Dish Network anymore. It's Dish. I still can't get used to that.
Corporate stuff.
Yeah.
My first festival is in June. That's going to be in Tolland at Camp Timber Trails. It's called Forest Dance, and that's like it's a beautiful transformational intensive where we dance around a fire intentionally from midnight till 7 in the morning for 3 days, and then we go to sleep.
Do you sleep?
then we go to sleep for a little while. We have a beautiful brunch, and then we have some beautiful activities on the campgrounds, and then we have a beautiful dinner, and then we take a nap, and then we get up and we dance.
Now, are you cooking by campfire, or do you actually have a kitchen or?
That one's a full kitchen facility. It's an old Girl Scout camp. They used to be able to cook for 1,000 people, and they still have all the equipment, like pots and pans and things. Like there's multiple pots of Kathy could bathe in. We could have a lukewarm pool for Kathy, a cold plunge for Kathy, and
and of course you have a huge mess hall attached to this as well.
fairly
right?
large mess
Yeah.
hall, and then a large campground around that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The mess halls were built in the '60s by this like same style of like architect that built lots of Girl Scout camps around the country, and they have these beautiful wood floors, so they're great for these like dance.
You see, I'm hearing
and things.
camp and it's out in the middle of nowhere. I'm thinking more like a military setup.
No, I went to Girl Scout camp. I know what he's talking about.
All right, so it's all cushy and
Not this one.
Not cushy, but it's functional.
This one's from the '60s, so it's functional.
It's functional.
Although they
It's
just get new
comfortable.
beds. Very excited.
It's comfortable.
And then July right now is kind of slow, so I'm looking for what might be interesting to do in July this coming year. And last year I was away for 3 weeks in July for a special event. So,
where are you in the middle of May?
oh, California. I'm leaving in April, mid-April to go to Cabo, and then I'm coming up to California, and I have one event for a week and a half, and then I have another event for a week and a half.
Okay, what dates am I thinking of, Pete? Am I thinking of the 13th and the 14th in May?
Oh, I've forgotten.
Yeah, that's air show. Yeah.
Yeah. You're on 13th, 14th.
13th and 14th. I may be.
That's the air show. You're welcome to come join us up there. We'll be broadcasting live.
Oh, neat. I would like that, but if I have a paying gig, I got to follow.
Well, yeah. Well,
follow the
obviously,
thing,
if you're getting paid, don't show up to
that is
where we're
fine.
going to.
I saw that we were having an air show again, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
That was a fun event for me.
When is that again?
The 13th and the 14th of May.
Really? It's early.
It is early.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's usually in the summer.
They still couldn't get the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels for this one. Although it looks like the FA-8, they will have an FA-18 performing and
35.
And a 35 and
Did I tell you guys about how I saw the 35 when I was in California in September? And I was going by Edwards Air Force Base, and it screamed over the top of the car at low altitude, and then it just stopped like a quarter of a mile away over the runway in midair. And I was like, that is so cool.
Pete and I seem to remember a time when we saw the F-35.
Yeah, that was down in.
They had one
Stewart.
in Corpus Christi.
Oh, Corpus Christi, yeah.
Yeah. Where because it was alongside the ocean and alongside the water, it was allowed to break Mach. So it broke Mach right in front of us.
You see a little puff?
And Pete actually he grabbed a beautiful picture of it with the vapor on the wings and oh yeah,
awesome.
But you just it happens right in front of you and it's insane and I understand why we can't do it at Westover, why we can't do it at Barnes. Why can't we? Because people's windows would break.
They would complain.
Yeah,
it wouldn't break. They wouldn't break because there used to be planes that did that there in the time.
Oh, at this level and at this altitude, they're.
Back in the 50s, we used to hear it all the time in Westfield.
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
Yeah, but
then
these
they
are
got
completely
louder.
different
Yeah.
engines, and
They got louder.
They got a lot louder.
Yeah.
Speaking of travel, I found where the H Marts are down in
Okay. What do you think of the H Marts?
That's pretty cool. Really neat.
It's a Korean Walmart.
Yeah. Everything.
Now, what's the H Mart?
It's
a
a grocery.
Korean-
It's a
it's a
Korean
Korean
grocery store
Walmart.
that he's very happy with. He was
Okay.
talking about many. As I've been coming on the show, he's always talking about on our next trip we got to stop at H Mart. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I'll spend. If I'm by myself, I'll spend a couple of hours at H Mart. I'm limited to about 30 minutes when I'm with Pete.
Well,
Pete, if we
that's
take
good,
our
Pete.
time coming up, maybe we can go through Edison on the way back.
Yeah, probably.
All right. I need to pick up. But what's cool with the H Mart is if you go along the outside of the building instead of trying to along the outside aisles instead of trying to decipher everything. Well, you have to decipher everything there. But
So should I bring
fish,
the big cooler then?
Yeah, the fish and the meat and the products you can find there. I mean, even walking through the produce section, it's larger than a produce section here in any of our grocery stores, and the stuff is in pretty good shape.
It's more like an HEB out. It's really more like an HEB out in Texas. and
Those
stuff
are
like
that is like my favorite grocery store chain I've come across. I think
HEB is really cool.
The
out in
HEBs are
Texas.
awesome, and in Austin, they actually deliver to one of the venues that I work with for if you spend more than $65, they deliver for free. So I just
Yeah, I didn't mind the HEB when we were down in Texas. I've also learned to appreciate Publix.
Really?
Down in Florida.
That's interesting.
Yeah, basically because of they're made to order sub area. It's just it's awesome. They make great
I
sandwiches.
guess you will be bringing the big cooler then.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a
Couple
Publix near where we are.
Well, we can load up that morning, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go in, but there was a lost it again. Wow, these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to pay attention to you guys is I'm not.
Don't.
You're out of
Just keep
practice. You
moving.
haven't been here.
Don't.
Yeah, don't try to figure us out.
Just keep talking, John.
Just go
keep
with the
talking.
flow.
Yeah.
Get a bigger cooler, Peter.
Actually, most of the stuff I'd get at the H Mart from Edison, New Jersey, up to here, I probably wouldn't need much. What else do we have here? Nothing for you here.
Right.
I have stuff over here for you, though.
Oh God.
Yep. So in your travels, you really haven't been doing much with making pretzels or cooking much or doing...
Oh, that was what in my travels. So yesterday, I got walking through the airport. I got free pretzels and free pretzel hot dog. And then when I get on, I always get on the plane last, pretty much all the time, because I don't feel like standing in line and waiting or whatever. And this time, as I was getting on last, they were bumping somebody from business class to first class, and they were and I was like, oh, cool, that means that seat's empty. Can I have that seat? And they were like, yes. So it was the first time I ever sat in front of the engines. And all this traveling I've done, it was really interesting with extra leg room and stuff.
All right. Okay, I was just going to ask him what airlines, but it's obviously not Southwest.
That was a United flight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you got the free pretzels?
No, the free pretzel I happened to be walking. It was just divine providence. I was walking to the airport, and I wanted a soda. I wanted a beverage, so I was walking towards the pretzel guy, and he was telling to these people walking by, "Hey, you guys want some free stuff?" And then the lady was like, "Hey, come here." And it must have been closing time, and they had a full supply of.
Okay, I'm going to throw it out, or I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, but whatever. As I walked up, I saw a sign that said 2 pretzel hot dogs for $7. I'm like, I'm not going to spend $7, but that pretzel hot dog sounds pretty good. And the lady's like, "You want some pretzel hot dogs?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's right."
Yeah, so this is a copy of Food Network magazine from a few months back, and I'm not going to do one of the quizzes that we would play around with out of here now and then because I didn't prep for one, and for two, didn't feel like it. But there
He likes
is
to know he knows the answers to the quiz before he takes it.
No, I purposely don't look because I want to challenge myself on that. But I'll find something with trivia or something interesting here because you never know if you might be inspired by something on it to create or cook or come up with. So that's why I go through these. So this is all about pretzels, and there's on here 10 twisted facts.
Twisted.
Yeah, you see what they did there?
Twisted system.
Yeah, I'm trying not to go to break. I'm trying to go all the way through here. So the first one
make
here.
it.
Cheese sauce is by far America's soft pretzel dip of choice.
Yeah.
What do you think is second?
Mustard.
Yes, mustard.
Yeah. And
Okay. Which one are you?
No, I don't even like mustard that much, but in Germany it would be the other way around.
Cheese or mustard?
No, I would have to go cheese. I like mustard, but not with
What about a mustard cheese?
No.
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 That's not a good idea.
I mean, not for somebody who wants cheese, but like the horseradish cheese would give would also give the mustardy tanginess.
Oh yeah.
For people for the gourmet end of things. Mm-hmm. But as a standard dip, yeah. And yellow mustard's gross on a pretzel in my opinion, but I could see the brown mustard,
the deli,
or the honey mustard, or the
stone ground
beer mustard or something like that.
Oh, I can't stand yellow mustard.
Yeah.
Really?
Can't stand it.
Oh.
I
like it, but
I'm a
not
snob. I need to have the better product.
And that's not even a better product. Those are just different processes.
Yeah.
Different processes.
Yeah.
It's not even that one's cheaper than the
I
other. It's the same 3
I
ingredients.
like some of the seeds popping in my mouth when I eat some of that mustard.
The seeds is always a nice addition.
Yeah. Yeah.
My honey mustard was a blend of whole grain Dijon and Dijon and honey.
Mm-hmm.
But in the right ratios, it was.
I can still see that having a bit of a vinegary snap.
Well, I was going to say, and a splash of and a very small splash of apple cider vinegar, just to tie it all together. That's my low fat, no fat honey mustard dressing.
So this little fact here probably won't lead to anything inspirational, but it's fitting for the season. In Luxembourg, locals celebrate Pretzel Sunday on the fourth Sunday of Lent. All right, the tradition is to give your loved one a sweet almond pretzel. Oh, maybe there is some inspiration here. A sweet almond pretzel, and they're showing a picture of the pretzel, and it looks like they
Probably make
glazed
it with almond flour too.
They glazed it with almond slivers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've seen people put jalapeno pieces in a pretzel.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah. I mean.
Okay. A pretzel without salt is called a what?
Ooh, I don't know. The kind I usually order.
Naked.
No.
Pretzel.
No.
without salt.
That's what they have. Most places advertise it as a naked pretzel.
No, there's
That's too sexy, Peter.
There's a shop down on Chincoteague Island. It's a restaurant, a food place. It's never open when we go there. It's Mr. What?
Whippy?
No, the other one. Baldy.
Oh, baldy?
Yeah. A pretzel without salt is called a baldy.
Well, naked, same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you can be bald and not naked.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Say
we
that
don't know
to-
where this term came from or where this
It
magazine
could,
got that
it
information.
could be regional.
Yeah,
Could be
I
regional.
definitely say that.
All right, so the pretzel emoji was introduced in 2017, 2 years after the popcorn emoji. When exactly now? I'm trying to figure out.
Emojis. I think this is fun.
I'm trying to figure out now where along the line did the eggplant emoji come from?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Who the hell cares?
Why? But here's the coolest thing.
Google it.
We are now speaking in hieroglyphics again. And I think that is freaking amazing.
You know what? You're right.
And actually, I'm getting pretty good at conveying lots of thought. And I wish that there was maybe a larger.
It means we're regressing as a civilization.
No, Peter.
Yes.
We're getting away from all the extra words that we
We're
don't
getting
need.
stupider.
You know, there was talks not that long ago, and I think they're still working on it. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts license plates. They want to get rid of the numbers and letters and put symbols on it because people will remember symbols better than the numbers and letters.
Really?
Yeah, Google it.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah, it's like nursery school. What's your tag number? Moon, star. No, wait a minute. Wait, star, moon.
Robin.
What?
Squirrel.
What?
Squirrel. Shiny thing.
Shiny
Cupcakes.
thing.
Cupcakes. Shiny things. Whoops. What?
Gotta go to the mart.
Yep.
Oh, look at the soft pretzels have been sold from push carts in New York City for more than 200 years.
Believe that.
Do you know Guy Fieri's
Guy
first,
Fieri.
first job was a pretzel cart. His parents bought him a pretzel cart.
Yeah, it was like 12 years old or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
First job in food.
Look where he's
What
at.
a great
now.
opportunity.
Yeah. Maybe you should have started with a pretzel push cart.
I mean, if somebody would have bought me one, that would have been great.
Yeah, you'd be on TV Food Network by now.
Yeah, that's
See
great.
what I did there? I called it the old name.
Oh, it has a new name?
TV food.
It was originally called TV Food Network.
What is it now?
Food Network.
Food Network.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Simplification of America.
Yeah. Pennsylvania makes up a whopping 80% of the country's pretzels. Well, they must be talking about the hard pretzels in a bag.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
In the barrel.
Oh, and you know, this morning on Bob's show, they were talking about things you could put on a stick, right? And so, kebab comes up, corn dog.
Pickles.
Pickles. And Jessica Martin, what was on the show, she's like, why the hell would you put a pickle on a stick? Well, she probably didn't see my Big E show where they had the pickle on a stick guy. And we asked him why. And it was like, oh, because it's fun. And those were also the best damn pickles I ever had.
I said to him that was a big thing in drive-in theaters in the 50s and 60s.
We did it. Remember when we did the
Well, it's just
vintage
because they could put
baseball
them on the
games?
stick in
We did
advance,
it.
so they could just sell them instead of having to take them out of the
Correct.
They take them out of the barrel and put the stick on and then give it to
It's
the...
easy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also
but
way
like when
cheaper.
you're having a whole bunch of people, you already skewer them. So
Yeah, it's
it's
$5 a piece for one of those pickles on a
Yep.
stick down there. But, it was a dill, lactose fermentated pickle, and they were done in oak barrels. And
no, thank you.
it was good. It was good.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
But there was that summer that I made 15 5-gallon pails of pickles from Farmer, and Farmer Fran would call me up in the morning and he'd ask me how many cucumbers I wanted to pick, and then I would have Baker B make the brine, and he would pick the cucumbers, and the brine would be hot when he got there, and we pickled them immediately, and then and that lasted me from whenever the pickles first came, probably beginning of June, until probably March.
Right. So that wasn't a sour type pickle.
My own dill, garlic dill. What they call 50 count pickle. Yeah.
When I was a kid, my mom and dad. My dad was good friends with a guy named Steve Lipinski up in Hatfield.
Yep.
And Steve had a farm, and he grew cucumbers, pickling cukes, and we'd get a couple bushels of them, and we'd can at least 100 jars of dill pickles every year, because he'd grow the dill and he'd grow garlic, and we used to help Mom pickle.
Yeah, just be careful with the processing method. And
that's what I'm saying. We did it. We did the big ball jars, and we literally had, when we were cleaning out my mom's house, we found one that had been there for years. We opened it up, and the pickles were still good.
We actually had the space at the restaurant where I did the process in refrigeration anyway, just as a fail-safe. And it was local garlic, local dill, and cider vinegar for 50% of the vinegar. So the liquid brine that I created was actually like a health tonic.
Okay.
And so we used to keep on the bar one of those like iced tea jugs full of pickle, a pickle jug, but it had the spout. Because all the rage was that something called a pickle shot came really popular, where people
kind of along the same time as a shrub.
No, not really. If you do a shot of whiskey and you follow it immediately with a shot of pickle juice, you can't taste the fact you just drank whiskey.
Why would you want to do that?
Super dangerous. Because
you can get loaded.
Yeah. so
it's like drinking straight vodka.
So it'd be cool that the bartender could
if I'm drinking a 25 year bottle of scotch, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, we're talking rot gut.
Rot gut. Okay,
or something.
Yeah,
along
bathtub
those lines.
whiskey.
And then, it's called pickleback, and it was very popular. So we had the dispenser, and you could buy a pickle for $1, or you could just come in and say, "Hey, can I have a shot of pickle juice?" Because I would always give out the health tonic to anybody who wants.
Well, I was on the whole pickle this, pickle that thing a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I remember.
In one of the magazines now, 2 months ago, says the big thing for 2023, or one of the big things now, is going to be pickle everything, and we're starting to see it.
Interesting.
Yeah, including on pizza.
Ooh, no.
Dan makes a really good deep dish pickle pizza down at Skyline, and people really enjoy it. Yeah.
Onions and pickles and is it a Thousand Island or something he puts on there?
I don't remember the sauce.
It's almost like a Big Mac without the Mac.
Oh, Pizza Fanatics went to a place down in Granby. The chef who,
I know some people from there.
The chef who, the pizza guy who used to be from the Russell Inn is down there now, and he has a Big Mac pizza, and they put the lettuce and tomato and onion on afterwards, but
I make it as a quesadilla, and that's really
really
really good. Yeah, usually when I had the restaurant, we would do that as a quesadilla. It would be delicious.
Kathy the other week on the show, I think we were talking about Easter and maybe Peeps, and she prefers the ducks over the bunnies, right?
I like the chickens over the bunnies.
Oh, the chickens over the bunnies.
I don't know why.
I agree. I think it has something to do with the fluffiness, the roundness of the peep. The bunnies are so flat. I feel like I'm not getting the experience that I get when I bite into the chicken.
Just that mouthful of disgusting sugar.
Yes,
I love it.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is this: about 2/3 of people eat the curves of a soft pretzel first and save the knot for last. Where are you on that one?
That's interesting.
I mean, it's easy access, so it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Why people would do that? I don't think it's.
I don't think that makes it easier, because the few times I'll get a pretzel is at an airport from Auntie Annie's. I love.
Well, the round corner sticking out of the bag. So wouldn't you start with that?
Yeah. So you're now holding the bottom of the pretzel in the bag. So now you go through the knot before you get to the very.
Oh, they put it in the bag backwards. I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They
actually, what I like to do is when it's those kind of pretzels, I like to peel the 2 fingers back first. That's the part I eat first.
Yeah.
The ones that wrap over.
The 2 humps stick out of the Auntie Annie's
That's
bag,
interesting.
So. Yeah. So you're almost kind of forced.
That's who gave me the free pretzels at the airport last night.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah. I was really excited.
So speaking of Auntie Annie, Auntie Annie, see what I did here? A food court fame is a real person.
Yeah.
All right. Ann Beelier, who first sold soft pretzels at a farm stand in '88. Now,
Nice.
they have more than 1,700 locations coming soon to an airport near you.
Somebody's got to start somewhere.
You got to, if you're in an airport, there has to be an Auntie Annie's. And I found out there's one down in Bradley.
I was craving
It's in the other
the B
other
terminal?
concourse. Yeah.
B?
Yeah. Not B, because there's no such thing as a B there anymore.
The higher numbers?
Yeah, the higher
Changed
numbers.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, where Southwest isn't. Yeah, there's an
Okay.
Auntie Annie's there. Yeah. Oh, and it looks like they're putting the H&M, not H&M, the Brooks Brothers or whatever, the leather and luggage store that used to be there, like next to McDonald's. Yeah, they're putting a Starbucks in there. So you're going to have the Starbucks and the Dunks thing going back and forth.
Here we
over there
go.
now. Yeah.
Battle.
Yeah, look at this, number 10, Pete. Guy Fieri's first job was running a pretzel cart. He was actually age 10.
Told you.
Yeah.
Wow.
First job.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, so, hey, yeah, that covers pretzels. Glad I had that article, huh?
Everything you wanted to know about pretzels
About
today,
pretzels.
John.
Oh, wow. Look at that. We're at,
But we're afraid to ask.
so.
And that's the show.
Let's see.
But, you know, I try not to talk nonsense when we have a food guy here, so it was related to food.
Speaking of food, guys, if you want to
And-
find out more about the things that I'm doing, you can find
Shameless.
me. You can find me on Facebook as Chef John Slattery or Love Chef Magic. You can also find me on Instagram as at Chef John Slattery, and at my website at chefjohnslattery.com. I feel free to take a look at some of the testimonials, see some of the things I've done, and what people are saying about that. And I do have some limited availability coming up. So it's always worthwhile to hit me up if you have an event that you think that you would like my help with, and see where I'm at. I keep my schedule open to a first come, first served basis. And there's a whole bunch of skills listed on my website that I can help you with. So
Great. Look at what we have coming up here. Next week, I have Chef Gilmo coming in. He's going to be putting the South in your mouth. Chef Travis Gilmore, actually, but he goes by Chef Gilmo, is basically cooking at Nana's Kitchen now on School Street. And instead of a protein shake bar sandwich place, they did a complete turnaround. This guy's originally from North Carolina. He spent a lot of time down in New Orleans. It's all New Orleans regional cooking.
when did this open?
A month or so ago.
Oh, cool.
And you know, we're talking jambalaya. You know, we're talking gumbo. We're
Is that
talking.
chicken? Is that in the bakery spot, or what spot on School Street?
It is it's one away from the soap place on
Okay,
the
yeah.
left-hand side. Yeah. This place has had a hard time trying to figure out where they're going and what they're doing over a couple of years. You know, open a select day here or there. Now Gilmo is in here, and he had completely revamped this menu, and it's just all, you know, Southern comfort food, New Orleans, Creole, Cajun. It's a mismatch of everything there. And he actually asked me, you know, what can I bring? I'm like, well, okay, well, you know, the first time around, I don't really bother you with the cooking demo. That'll be the next time around. But he insisted he will be bringing in some cornbread. And if you've ever had real Southern cornbread,
I believe I brought you some cornbread before.
Yeah.
Honey and jalapeno.
the honey, yes. So this is, you know, Southern, put your heart into type cooking. So Chef Gilmo will be here next week. Again, putting the South in your mouth, as he says. He's quite a character. You're really going to like him. 2 weeks from now, I'm giving you the day off.
Really this time? Really?
Hopefully.
Really?
Hopefully, unless SpaceX decides to change things.
With you two, I never know.
Yeah.
And don't forget that 1776 opens on April 14th. You can get your
You guys know
reservations
1776?
online.
Oh, that's so exciting.
1776
What's the dates?
for 3 weekends in April. Get your tickets online.
3 weeks from now, Nadeem will be in here.
Again?
Yeah, and hopefully this time things will be all set. We're going to do a demo over in the kitchen after the show. 4 weeks from now, Pizza Fanatics Chris and Lisa will be here. See, I'm starting to go in a certain direction now.
I see that.
Yeah. So I don't intend to make this happen every week, but it just so happens this is how things.
It's like a month of Food Peoples.
Yeah, that's just how it ended up happening.
Network, the Westfield Food Network.
And I'm glad I started it all off with Chef John Slattery.
Thank you. That is,
There you go.
well, of all the things that I do around the country, is I pioneer a lot of things that continue on in lots of beautiful ways, and I'm happy to always.
And someone who's due back in here actually is Kyle Cortis.
You gonna leave a spot for me somewhere in there?
Chef Kyle is from Emma's. He's actually going to help us with the judging at the filming of Chef Showdown.
I was in Emma's last week, and I was going to say hello, but he was really busy. I didn't want to bother
Yeah, I was
him.
really hoping to hear back about that this year. I'm around for the next 2 weeks, too. I didn't know what the dates were going to be.
All right. And if anyone's looking for a job as a line cook, my buddy Donnie Elton down at Griff's Mill Cafe in Southwick could use the help. He's willing to train the right person. So we're talking breakfast time. So if you're interested in that, please give him a shout. Again, John, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's all the time I have. I'll catch you next week.
Didn't know what time it was, the lights were low, oh, oh. I leaned back on my radio, oh, oh. Some cat was laying down some rock and roll, let us say it. Then the loud sound it seemed to fade, came back like a slow voice on a wave of fade. That was no DJ, that was I said 5, 4, Look out your window, I can see his light. Coming up on Staring Separation. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He likes the sun and meet us, but he thinks he's low our minds. There's a star.